Frenchman's Forest. This Frenchman's Creek Forest, sorry. So Frenchman's Creek is an area of land in northern Palm Beach County. It's principally at the near the intersections of Don Ross and Prosperity Farms. This land was in early days, it was owned by the Hoyt family. The children of the Hoyt family are what really gave it its name. So back in the early days, sorry, I've got a lot of bounce on there. Back in the early days, the Frenchman Forest was actually called Paradise Port. And this was a good place for hurricane protection. So it's on the inland, the ICW, so the Intercoastal Waterway. And a lot of boats would then come in here for safe harbor from storms in early days. The Hoyts renamed this area Frenchman's Creek because their mother loved a novel by du Maurier, M-A-U-R-I-E-R, called Frenchman's Creek. And that's where the area gets its name from. Now, if you're ever in this area, there are several neighborhoods that have the Frenchman Creek moniker, and there are several natural areas with the Frenchman's Creek moniker. So today we're in Frenchman Creek Forest. It's a natural area. This is very much like DuPage County in Chicago, Illinois, or outside of Chicago, Illinois, in that a vast majority of the land has been set aside for natural preserves. So, lot of animals that we'll be able to see in here today. You're always seeing lizards kind of scurry about. They're really small. I don't know if we'll get any on film. And then tortoises are very common in here. So the gopher tortoise is something common to this area. It's an endangered species. It's you'll notice that this area is all fenced in. It's shorter fences. They're not keeping people out. They're keeping these tortoise in. These tortoise can dig very long burrows up to 20 meters in length, and that's their homes. And then when they vacate it, it becomes homes for rabbits, snakes, other things. So that's fairly common in this area. The Hoyt family eventually sold most of this land to the MacArthurs. The MacArthurs were a very wealthy family. MacArthur Park is over on the ocean, between the ocean and the Intercoastal. And they are huge benefactors, so they donate monies to a lot of places. I think their wealth came from owning the water company down here. Over time, they sold off large tracts of this land, so there is a Frenchman's Creek golf course. It's the golf course and beach club. The golf course is very massive. It takes up property south of Don Ross. Let's start walking through here. I'm going to put my backpack on and see if I can put my battery away. And we're going to walk through the forested area here. So we're out here by the parking spot. Oh, this is, I don't know if you can see there, but on the middle of the, oops, right there, we've got a tortoise crossing the sidewalk. So it's very rare to be in this area and not see a tortoise. Sorry about the big face there. So let me turn that around real quick. So we can see that there's a tortoise trying to cross the street or the sidewalk. This is only a sidewalk for a short period of time, and then it becomes gravel, and there's a lot of sand in this area. He'll kind of scurry off the path. We as humans should not be touching or playing with these. We want to give them kind of a wide berth. It is their natural area. If you'll notice, right, he's got fairly long legs. They have domed shell. The other thing that's rather important is that tortoise can't swim. So never put tortoise in the water thinking you're doing well for them. They will drown, so that's no good. They can live for a great period of time. So I think that 70, 80 years is fairly common for the gopher tortoise. Oh, there he is on the move. Oh, you can hear his nails kind of click on the sidewalk. So I'm backing up to kind of give him grace. I'm going to walk around the side. He'll probably duck into his shell. Yeah. But there he goes. All right. Let's see if we can turn this around again. Again, a lot of natural area here in Palm Beach County. It's a rather wealthy county of Florida. Florida is not a wealthy state. There are small little pockets and enclaves, the southeast coast being one of those, which is rather wealthy. Miami being the big city down here. But from Miami all the way up to about, well, they would probably say Miami's metro goes up to Fort Lauderdale, which Fort Lauderdale or maybe Boca Raton. And then you get the next even close to downtown area with high rises is going to be West Palm Beach. We are seeing finance firms kind of move down this way. It's beautiful. I love coming down here just to walk around. Really pretty space. As we walk through here, we'll see palms. We'll see some deciduous trees. Florida has kind of an eternal summer as we're down here. So things are green and lush all the time here. We're seeing plenty of birds in here. Morning. Just saw a couple of bluebirds come by. In this area, you won't see it as often, but one of the other birds that's awesome to see down here is the osprey, and oftentimes you'll see them with a little bird, their trophies, in tow. So they are incredibly good fishermen. You'll see them flying overhead, not quite in these densely populated forests or natural areas, more where you've got the single palms that are growing tall. You'll see them more frequently. And part of that is that it's so dense as we look up, right, there's a canopy here. And in other natural areas, when you've just got the palm, they're open areas, so the sun can kind of get through in that space. This is really, to me, a very pretty, quiet place. Now I've left the sidewalk. I'm on, let me turn this around real quick. So now we're on, there's sand underneath this. It's covered by leaves right now because the deciduous trees have kind of, are always shedding their leaves. This is fairly common to not see fishing in these areas. Sometimes it's because they're stocked, also because, as the story goes, if the water is wet here in Florida, there is most likely an alligator in it. So you're seeing just a little pond here in the Frenchman Creek's forest down here. Another one is they frown upon pets, and that's mostly because it disturbs the wildlife. We just saw the tortoise earlier, and they don't want the animals impacting or scaring those let me see if I can lower this down. I've got this on the gimbal or on a tripod, and it's kind of heavy, so I'm going to take it off the tripod real quick and see if I can fold this away so I can hold this a little bit more steady. You don't want the pets scaring or marauding the local indigenous animals. Now, when I first moved down here, oh, it's so funny. I'm always hearing noises behind me, and more often than not, it's the little lizards. Now they do have the larger iguanas here. Iguana is invasive. When I first moved down to this area, just outside of the entrance to this, somebody had taken a snapshot of a bobcat. So there are two large felines that are very native here. Maybe you could, you know what, I'll bet it's three. So you've got the bobcat, the jaguar, and the panther. I think that the jaguar can get out here. I'm sorry, that the panther can get out in this area. The jaguar, I think, is a little bit closer to the swampier areas of the Everglades. We're walking next to, there's a little waterway here, and eventually you'll see a neighborhood next to us. It's something that you'll notice in this area of Florida, and almost all of southern Florida, is that there are waterways, many of them man-made, all over the place. So it's hard to actually cut across large swaths of land on the roadway, because you end up running into some waterway or another in that process when you're going through there. And just the other side of this little waterway over here, there are homes. So people have their houses right there next to the park. At the back side of this park is another one of the Frenchman's communities. I think that one's called Frenchman's Reserve, and that is a golf course. Let's see, we'll walk over this direction. Now we're heading north again. There's a beautiful boardwalk in this park. If you look at this park from north to south, eventually you'll hit a little bit of a disruption at the roadway, because apparently somebody sold off some land, and there's one or two streets and there's houses built there, but then the forest kind of snakes behind those houses and comes out on the other side. It's a little bit larger on the other side, so the parking side isn't quite as big as the other side. Here you can see that we're a half mile from the boardwalk. Very warm right now, so we're just after noon. Sweating a little bit, as one would expect in these temperatures. It's probably low 80s right now. Very humid here in Florida. Yeah, there's plenty of shade here, but you know, when you're in the sun, you can definitely feel that you're in the sun. The Frenchman's Golf Club, or Frenchman's Country Club, it's called the Frenchman's Country Club and Beach Club, or Country and Beach Club, something like that. And they have a property over in Juno Beach on the ocean that, you know, right, you go in there, and for the members of the community, then that gives them access to the ocean. They've got little beach chairs and umbrellas, cabanas. There's a little indoor home, or not, an indoor area with, usually it's got hors d'oeuvres, coffee, juices, things of that nature. I don't know if that's actually got a bar inside. It might be something where the members kind of BYO in that space. Here you can see it opens up towards the back. And as we look to the deep side there, then you can start, there's a lot of pine cones back there, so there's conifers in this area. So you've got a palm in the lower area, in the center of the screen right there, and then a couple of different kinds of pine trees. So the sparsely populated are still a pine tree. The other day we saw the red-headed pileated woodpecker, which it's like a foot tall. It's a massive bird. And it was beautiful watching in there. Here you can see the flaky bark of the conifer, or the pine cone or tree here. We'll walk down a little bit further, see if we can get to the boardwalk. I'm hearing a little bit of noise over here. Now remember, reptiles, being cold-blooded, they love these sunny areas because what they're going to do is they'll come out onto a piece of wood, or you can see that there's the bright sunshine ahead of me, this sandy area. They'll come out here to absorb the heat, which gives them energy, right? You can see the little snake crossing there. So that's a black racer, or maybe it's eastern black racer. Non-venomous. They're shy snakes. They want nothing to do with me. So he's kind of, I don't see him anymore. He's hidden beneath the little leaves that we've got here. He was out here probably gaining some energy, sitting there in the sandy area. A lot of butterflies. See, I don't know if you're going to see it, but there's the tiger butterfly. Not sure if tiger's a butterfly or a moth. One thing I do really love about this area is that there are all kinds of parks like this. So you can kind of run midday. There's probably 2 miles of trails in here if you kind of hit them all and you're going to double back on a couple of them. But you can stay in a lot of shaded area through here, so that's always nice. If you're watching this, and everybody's going to be on the replay, I'm not seeing anybody in here. I haven't been recording on this channel very much lately, but I do want to start doing that again. I will go ahead and bring the thumbnail over here. I tried to do a live with a little bit of an announcement. Oops, little squirrel up there. He's frozen right now. Let me see if I move forward if he'll move. No, he's staring down at me, but I don't think you can see too much up there. He's just inside of the Y. But another one of the creatures that makes raucous noises as they travel through these leaves. Got a runner coming through. Howdy. I think that I see a monarch just ahead of me, but again, I know you don't get to see that much detail here when we're on this camera. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll end this here. And I will come back and show you some of the other natural areas. We've got the Juno Beach natural area and the Juno Ridge area that's nearby. But we'll save that for another day. Please like and subscribe. I'm just going to be out here shooting the local area. So I appreciate everybody here. Thanks. Have a great day.